You asked me why I'm doing all this. But even if I told you why, I doubt very strongly that the knowledge would change anything at all. But let's say that I take the time to explain it to you. What do you think would happen then? My goal is to fulfill the dream even Jiraiya Sensei was unable to achieve. What I want is to create peace and bring about justice. Oh, I see. That is noble of you. That would be justice. However, what about my family? My friends? My village? They suffer the same fate as this village at the hands of you Hidden Leaf Ninja. How is it fair to let only you people preach about peace and justice? Once, the Land of Fire and the Hidden Leaf had grown too big. To protect their national interests, they forced feudal clans to wage war against each other, and profited from it. Otherwise, the people of the villages would have starved. As it happened, our little nation and its villages became the battlefield where the great nations waged their war. Each time they did, our nation was ravaged and laid to waste. After many such battles, the great nation stabilized, but our smaller nation suffered, and it barely recovered. You and I are both seeking the very same thing. We both want to achieve the peace that Jiraiya Sensei envisioned. You and I are the same. We're both motivated by our desire for peace and justice. The justice that I have delivered against the Leaf Village is no different from what you are trying to do to me. Everyone feels the same pain when losing something dear. You and I have both experienced that pain. You strive for your justice, and I strive for mine. We're both just ordinary men who have been driven to seek vengeance in the name of justice. And if one comes to call vengeance justice, such justice will only breed further vengeance and trigger a vicious cycle of hatred. Right now, we live in such a cycle. I know the past and can foretell our future. It is the same as our history. So we believe that human beings simply cannot understand each other, and they never will. The shinobi world of ours is ruled by hatred, and hatred alone. So, Naruto, how would you confront this hatred in order to create peace? I want to know what your answer is.
I don't know. I don't have an answer.
There are many types of monsters in this world. Monsters who will not show themselves and who cause trouble. Monsters who abduct children. Monsters who devour dreams. Monsters who suck blood. And monsters who always tell lies. Lying monsters are a real nuisance. They are much more cunning than other monsters.
They pose as humans, even though they have no understanding of the human heart. They eat, even though they've never experienced hunger. They study, even though they have no interest in academics. They seek friendship, even though they do not know how to love. If I were to encounter such a monster, I would likely be eaten by it. Because in truth, I am that monster.
Youth is a lie. It is nothing but evil.
This one out.
Those who look to rejoice in their youth deceive themselves and those around them, accepting in full the circumstances that devour them. In the face of the great and reverend word youth, they will twist any common interpretation or accepted notion out of recognition. In their minds, lies, secrets, sins, and even failure are nothing more than the spice of youth. If failure is truly the designated mark of one's youth,
Hey, is that you?
then would it not be considered abnormal for one not in his youth to still fail at befriending anyone?
Let's go.
But I'm sure none of them would admit to that being true. They only define youth to their own benefit. In conclusion, I leave you with this. All you fools who delight in youth, drop dead.
Are you fighting me for all of humanity? If so, then you should know that my actions are entirely for their benefit. For example, in human society, lands are split by borders marking their territory. On the right side of the border, children may starve to death, while on the left, idle dregs who do nothing have everything they need. It's absolute madness. I shall crush that madness and create a fair world where the concept of inequality will be completely forgotten for all time. I don't deny that I'll start by using power and terror to accomplish my objective, but only when absolutely necessary and only to bring about order. You see, I have learned what true power is meant to be used for. To protect the weak, who deserve to live. That is its purpose. Power shouldn't be used to torment the defeated.
Are you saying you already know the limitations of your power? You think you know all about your technique, your body, your mind, even though none of those have been perfected? If you believe that a person was simply born with something superior to you, that they just possess a God-given gift, then it is impossible to overcome. No matter your effort, your creativity, nor even your teammates. In fact, it's not even really a problem. It's not worth lamenting because you see it as a foregone conclusion. It's a trap. You will only lock yourself in a spiral of failure and ineptitude. Don't bother comparing your skills to that of another. Instead, you have only yourself to improve upon. Your path is yours and yours alone.
Today may be the day you seize the opportunity to make your talent bloom. Or it may be tomorrow, the day after that, or even next year. Or maybe even after you turn 30. The time you choose to make it happen is up to you. But if you think you don't have it, then you probably won't have it for your entire life.
Use your head.
Well, what about you, Zabuza? You gonna let him do that?
Be quiet, you fool. Haku's dead. What does it matter?
What? You mean you could just stand there and watch him get treated like a dog? You and Haku were together for years. Doesn't that mean anything?
You don't understand the way of Shinobi. I merely used him just as Gato used me.
Huh?
Now it's over. His usefulness is at an end. The loss of his strength and skill, yes, that means something to me. But the boy, nothing.
If you mean that, you're an even bigger rat than I thought.
Okay, that's enough. Calm down, Naruto. He's not the enemy. Not right now.
Ah! Shut up! Far as I'm concerned, he's enemy number one! Why, you ungrateful! After everything he did for you! Haku lived for you!
Is there someone who's precious to you?
You were the most important thing in the world to him!
For me, there is only one person who matters, and my purpose is to protect and serve him, and that purpose is what gives me my strength.
And he meant nothing to you? Nothing at all?
The way of Shinobi is very difficult for me.